Hey guys, Matt with Cykel Bike Shop here, and we are gearing up for springtime, and you should also be gearing up for springtime. So I want you to think back if you have a full suspension bicycle and remember your last few fall rides or maybe midsummer. If you remember squeaky, 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 squeaky every time you were going through any sort of bumps or rocks or just jumping around on your bike. There's a couple things that can be. One of the primary culprits are these guys, these little bearings. And so I have right here is a rear triangle from one of our friends' bikes, and we also have one of our rentals from last year. And there was a lot of squeaking going on, especially with this bike. And the reason that was happening was, first of all, dust and stuff like that. As that gets into your bearings, it can create some loud noises. But a lot of times these bearings just start to lock up. And so this specific bearing in my fingers here, it only rotates just a few degrees before it clicks and clicks and clicks. And so good chance that this one got crushed. There's a couple causes for that. Sometimes you just get a lot of dirt in there and it just packs down, and there's little tiny ball bearings inside of there that just roll around in a circle. If you damage even one of those, there's a good chance that the rest of the bearing is going to be shot. So on the suspension, this thing only has to move a little bit, and so you can have all of your bearings totally shot and not really notice. Like your bike will still go up and down. It's not like it's going to be locked up fully. But over time, what can happen is this is one of the suspension hardware pieces that goes through here. Over time, if that bearing's locked up, it's just spinning around on here without any of the bearing action. You can physically saw through the suspension hardware. And so what's going to happen is then you have looseness in play. Even though all your hardware is tight, you might still get some play in there, and essentially you just need to end up replacing all of your hardware. That gets really expensive. Sometimes it's impossible to do because the hardware is all unique for your bicycles. So it's really difficult to sometimes replace hardware. So what you should be doing on a pretty annual basis is get your suspension checked out. We can pretty easily tell if bearings are shot, and you just need to get them replaced. It is a wearable item, and if they're ever installed incorrectly, there's a good chance they'll go out right away. So make sure that's done right, get good bearings, stuff like that, and that should get you a fairly squeak-free summertime. Another thing, if your bearings aren't bad, there's a good chance that you've got a lot of dirt packed in there and stuff like that. So if it's something where you do want to do some of the maintenance yourself, you can take some of that apart, get a really nice little rag, and kind of floss in between and around all of those little linkages where it comes together, and that can help with your creaking as well. Again, springtime is coming quick, so if you have a bike that is in need of some service, make sure you start thinking about getting that into the shop to get everything gone over before we start hitting really nice weather. When it gets really nice out, everyone starts thinking bikes. So beat the rush, get your stuff in here, and think about your bearings. You might need to replace them. Thanks guys, appreciate it.